Russian man like inside the dark, call me Bill Snatcher. Just the brother for the rapture. I hang live, holding on strong, hard to capture. Extravagant, resurrect the track and it's militant. And I react like a convict and start killing. It's manifesting. The God's work like appliances, dealing in my psyche.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explain here, bringing you guys another discussion for Boruto Naruto Next Generations, the manga. And today we're going to be sounding the alarm by discussing a major Boruto plot twist that happened in Boruto Chapter 69, which is that moment where Sarada was confronted by Mitsuki about her feelings for Boruto. This has led to people saying that Masashi Kishimoto is about to ruin Sarada's character the same way that he ruined Sakura's character when he wrote Sakura at the end of Naruto Volume 27, stating that she wanted to gain more strength to be able to support Naruto in bringing Sasuke back, and by extension become someone strong enough that Sasuke would never think of leaving behind again. So what I'm going to do now is not only push all my chips to the table and make the ultimate gamble, but I'm also going to poke the hornet's nest in the process with this next statement. Sarada looking to gain more power to support Boruto, be of use to Boruto. If this is done right, it's going to be better writing than Sakura and Hinata's entire character arcs being put together. This can work. This can be Kishimoto's redeeming factor when it comes to a young shonen age female protagonist, and in my sincere opinion, this can work, but it's going to come down to Kishimoto not making the mistake that he made while writing and drawing the Naruto manga, which is once we got past manga volume 38, it went from being mostly about Naruto and Team 7 with a few supporting cast members having clearly defined roles to everyone in Naruto's Konoha 11 basically being there as background decorations while everything focused on Naruto and Sasuke's past going forward, until we got to the war arc and everybody just got a massive power amp. Now that's fine to an extent, but this is where this can work. Sarada's goal of becoming the Hokage is on a certain level directly tied to Boruto, the main character, accomplishing his own goal, which was to support Sarada from the shadows when she becomes a Hokage, much in the same way that Sasuke supports Naruto. So far, we've seen Boruto take these steps towards becoming the next Shadow Hokage. We've seen him grow stronger. We've seen Boruto go from being too scared to stab himself with a kunai when he was in front of Ishiki to having the balls to tell Kawaki to kill him during the last two manga chapters. Boruto is quickly learning what it truly means to do anything and be willing to cross any line for the sake and the security of the village. However, Sarada hasn't truly seen that dark side of being Hokage yet, the same way that Naruto didn't truly understand the burden of what it means to be Hokage until Jiraiya died. One of Naruto's sharpest words that he spoke to Tsunade in chapter 405 was that if Jiraiya had been the 5th Hokage, Jiraiya never would have allowed Tsunade to take on such a risk. Tsunade had literally just been thinking about her regret of allowing Jiraiya to go to the Rain Village alone, allowing him to turn down her offer for help, and most importantly, the line where Jiraiya said that the older generation's job is to keep their emotions in check so they can set a good example for the new generation. Tsunade, despite all the pain that she felt in that moment, she had to sit there and take Naruto's words. She had to wait until she was alone to cry over Jiraiya's death, and it's because of Jiraiya's reminder to her about the older generation. They have to hold back their emotions and project strength, even while they themselves might want to ball up and cry because the next generation's watching and the next generation's looking for their guidance. If Sasuke dies, in particular dies protecting the village, someone as emotional as Sarada is going to be an absolute mess. She's also going to quickly notice how Naruto likely suppresses his feelings in public, like he did after Kurama died and like he attempted to do when everyone told him that Boruto needed to be killed before Momoshiki could resurrect into his body. Sarada knows how much Naruto cares to Sasuke, and seeing the Hokage bury his emotions is going to bring out something in Sarada's character we've not seen before. If we're in a situation where Naruto has to allow Sasuke to do something in this battle with Code that requires Sasuke to sacrifice himself and to do so alone, that's going to go from Sarada being understanding as a shinobi to Sarada taking it personal, which is where Boruto as a character comes in to serve as her anchor. As Sasuke's student, as the person who wants to inherit Sasuke's will of fire, Boruto truly is the only person in their generation who can speak to Sarada about Sasuke giving his life for the village in this manner, because he's willing to take up Sasuke's will of fire. He's willing to make that same sacrifice for Sarada when she becomes a Hokage one day, but Boruto not only understands her pain, but he also understands Sasuke's thought process. That lends itself to Sarada's own path to power, wanting to grow stronger so that no one who supports her will have to make that sacrifice that her own father did. That's a sincere motivation for power. It's childish and it's unrealistic, but that at the very heart is what shonen tend to be: a childish dream and a perspective that evolves as the main character experiences more of the world around them. That's why shonen work is coming of age stories. Sarada having that stance and then connecting the dots between Sasuke giving his life for the village, Naruto's master giving his life for the village, and then her own uncle giving his life for the village, is the dark side to being Hokage that Sarada needs to understand, but also needs to accept as she gains more power to support Boruto, who wishes to be in that same role one day, which is why these death flags we have for Sasuke are so gut-wrenching, because we can see the path that everything's about to take. Now, if they don't end up as lovers, which is entirely possible, even after this manga chapter where Mitsuki questioned her about her feelings for Boruto, they have a bond that goes back to childhood, and a bond that makes them ideal to support each other through their hardships and push each other as they seek to gain power. Sarada seeking to catch up to Boruto, it isn't too unlike what Masashi Kishimoto envisioned for Sarada's character in 2015, and I'll explain to you why I'm saying this. So after Kishimoto drew Naruto Gaiden, we were given the Boruto movie, and then we were given the Boruto movie novelization for the movie, and that was written by Ukyo Kodachi, who was the former writer of Boruto itself, and the Boruto novel extended on the version of the story that Ukyo Kodachi and Masashi Kishimoto wrote for the big screen. Boruto in that version wanted to improve himself, but not just for his father's attention. Boruto in that movie novel also wanted to seek improvement because Sarada was viewed as a childhood friend, but also someone he kept a friendly rivalry with, and vice versa for Sarada. When Boruto made progress, it made Sarada want to work harder in that novel, and the same for Boruto. When he saw Sarada make progress, he wanted to take a step forward as well. A return back to seeing one improve and the other seeking to not be left behind, it would do wonders for the character of Sarada, who's been reduced to a mere background decoration in the manga, really ever since the events of the Boro fight. By going the route of her wanting to gain power to support Boruto, it allows for her to gain power that's meant to fight alongside Boruto, the future Shadow Hokages already facing Otsutsuki caliber threats. It's only right that the future Hokage, who Boruto will be supporting, steps up during that time as well. If you go the route of Sarada being in love with Boruto, as long as she doesn't watch him from the shadows like Hinata did for most of the 72 volumes of the Naruto manga outside of a few moments, or she doesn't obsess like a schoolgirl in the same way that Sakura did for Sasuke, is fine and it can work, and here's why. Her motivation isn't just to get strong for Boruto. Boruto's merely a part of it. Her ultimate goal is to become the Hokage. That's what she's focused on. She isn't seeking power to be acknowledged by somebody like Boruto. She isn't seeking power to be strong enough for Boruto to not ignore her. She's seeking power for the sake of becoming a worthy Hokage, of being somebody worthy to succeed Naruto as Hokage, and also she wants to become strong enough to protect and support someone she cares for. Masashi Kishimoto would not be the first mangaka to have a female character who has a clear goal that's tied to a potential romantic relationship and uses that power as a way to beef up the female character itself. The truth is that if this is done right, it can be an amazing arc. Her love for Boruto could potentially push her to be strong enough that people can depend on her, while allowing her to chase her own ambitious dream of being Hokage. The Uchiha are a clan powered by love. They feel it greater than any clan out there, so much that the loss of love itself changes the chemicals in their brains and awakens a new chakra that evolves the power of their Kekkei Genkai, the Sharingan. The truth is that Sarada is a character who is being ridden and is walking down the path of being love personified in this case. Seeking power to support a loved one or someone who she's in love with, while not succumbing to the philosophy of somebody like Madara, who believes that love eventually opens up the door for somebody to feel hate, it allows her to continue to break that cycle that Naruto and Sasuke broke as well. They stopped the wheel from spinning, but the wheel is still there. This allows Sarada to outright destroy the wheel altogether. Anyone saying that Sarada's character is going to be ruined by any of this, they've missed the point entirely. It is her character. Her path forward and her power-ups have been associated with these traits. As a sick toddler, she awakens her one Tomo without even realizing it, out of the love and the longing to see her father while she was sick. As an 11-year-old child, during the events of Naruto Gaiden, she awakens her Sharingan consciously for the first time at the thought of meeting Sasuke before she thinks it's the first time in her life. Her love for Boruto pushed her to move to protect him in the Kara actuation arc, and that made her awaken her to Tomo. The love and the joy that came from training with her father during the events of the Sasuke Shinin, the Teacher Star People novel, which I've covered here on the channel from start to finish, that caused her to awaken her 3 Tomo while Sasuke trained her mid-mission. Love and a strong resolve have always powered Sarada, and not just Sarada, but Boruto as well. Not fear, not hatred, it's always been one of these two things, love or a strong resolve, that have pushed these two characters forward, which is why they get along so well, which is what makes them so compelling. It's why the thought of Boruto potentially dying pissed her off in the manga chapter and made her want to grow stronger. For a character, this was a natural response. Now we just have to see where her character goes from here. However, that's gonna be it for my video today. So what I want to know from you guys is, do you guys think that this is going to ruin Sarada's character? And if so, let me know why down in the comment section below. So always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching to the end. Have an awesome day, guys.